This video was not meant to happen, but I accidentally just discovered something crazy. I was messing around with the wind charges a couple months ago and discovered a way to launch players hundreds of blocks into the air. See, there's this potion called Wind Charged, and it makes entities explode in a little wind gust when they die. However, this can be stacked. Even with just 50 chickens, it creates a super powerful force which can launch entities really, really far. I first made a video on this technology using it in a TNT cannon. TNT cannons are not really the best use for this, however, because TNT cannons work better if they're accurate rather than just really, really fast. So I wasn't expecting it to become like a revolutionary new thing. But because wind bursts were still new, I was expecting more people to discover this and make more videos on some more creations. But no one did. If you Google windburst cannon, my video is the top result. So I kinda just forgot about it. Now the reason why I was never able to make a player launcher using this was because of how Minecraft handles horizontal movement. If I use commands to give this pig 5 units of motion upwards and 5 units of motion sideways, it goes much further in the air than to the side. But if I give a different entity, like a TNT block the same velocity, it flies much further to the side. That TNT was given the same motion data as the pig. I don't really know why this happens, but the player works like the pig, so when I used the windburst TNT cannon on a player, it didn't work as well. The windburst can launch players really high in the air, but nowhere near as much along the X or Z axis, so I didn't think this was ever going to be a thing. Until I discovered Elytra. See, Elytra don't have the same weird motion that standing entities have. Players with Elytra need to be able to fly up, down, left, right, and north, so motion works fine when going horizontally. I was messing around with it recently, and it just worked. I flew super fast out of a little cannon I made just in a testing world. I was going hundreds of blocks per second. So, I made a new version. The Wind Elytra Tunnel, or WET for short. The most unethical travel method in Minecraft, the only way of moving across worlds that gets powered by dead chickens. This model can launch you around 1,000 blocks in just 7 seconds. This is faster than something like a Dolphin Highway. Not only that, but the chicken cannon doesn't need a 1,000 block long water tunnel. It's also just way cooler. However, it does work better and safer with an air tunnel if you're trying to go to a specific place. Yeah, did I mention that this is super dangerous? You'll know if you've ever flown into a wall with Elytra that you can take damage depending on how fast you're going. So if you're going twice the speed of sound and you hit a wall, let's just say that's probably not healthy for your bones. By the way, twice the speed of sound wasn't an exaggeration. I did the maths, you are going 600 blocks per second. And unlike the TNT cannon, this one can restock itself. A giant chicken cage is at the top, which collects eggs and automatically throws them into the holding area. The chickens are also on top of a pressure plate, which detects when there are enough chickens in the holding area and turns off the auto egg machine. It also opens up a trapdoor on top, letting you know that it's ready to fire. This takes around 10 minutes to restock, with about 200 chickens in the edge cage on top. But also the excess eggs build up in this chest, so the longer you leave it ready to fire, the faster it will restock next time. To launch yourself, stand on the edge of the block and look at the target block, then press space twice to jump and activate the Elytra. You should fall in, triggering a tripwire hook and splashing the chickens with wind charged and harming to kill them. Then a water stream pushes you into place and opens a hole in the holding chamber. The chickens explode, launching you out at supersonic speeds. But this version of the cannon has a limit, which is around 1,000 blocks. See, when too many entities are in a 1 block space, they start taking damage. This is called entity cramming. In my TNT cannon I used vines to prevent this, because vines stop entity cramming for some reason. But this version has a pressure plate, so vines can't be placed there. This means that only around 40 baby chickens can be in the holding area at once before they start dying. So here is a different version. This one uses vines instead of a pressure plate, and means that there can theoretically be an infinite amount of chickens in it, but could cause serious lag if you forget to turn it off. Chickens will build up in the system forever. However, this does mean that the cannon could theoretically give you infinite speed if you just left it on for a couple hours. Which I did, and I did a test with 500 chickens in the system. This does create heaps of lag just after they die. Minecraft has to process 500 chickens exploding all at once. It takes about 20 seconds just to fire. But once it does, you fly. I went 4,500 blocks in 1 second, and in total traveled 22,000 blocks. That's 13 times the speed of sound. This is, as far as I could find, the fastest any player has gone in vanilla non-glitched Minecraft. There are some methods using glitched, lazy loaded chunks and obviously enderpearl stasis chambers, but that's just teleporting. Another benefit from dolphin tunnels is that you can easily adapt this cannon to work without water, so it can work in the nether. Nether travel is much faster, because 1 block in the nether equals to 8 blocks in the overworld. Just a thing to note though, the nether version doesn't have water to line up the player in the right spot, so it's just timed perfectly as you enter the barrel. So when using the nether version, make sure you line up your cursor exactly right in the bullseye of the target block. I'd recommend using a spyglass or zoom mod to do this. But then, we have a regular version, a nether version, which goes 8 times as far, and an unlimited version, which goes super fast. Now we need an unlimited nether version. This is the most powerful, fastest version I made. It's on the nether roof, so you won't hit anything, but if you count the math I did earlier being 8 times as powerful, this cannon can launch you 30,000 blocks per second. That's 108,000 kilometers per hour, except you do slow down heaps after the very first second. Anyway, this was just an amazing discovery that was completely accidental. The world download is in the description if you want to use it yourself. It contains 4 different models of the cannon. If you use any of the cannons in your own video though, please link this video in the description. In the world, the 4 versions are all ready to fire. Go through this nether portal to get to the nether version, and this portal for the nether roof version. Anyway, if you want to see me build this on the Strides SMP, let me know. I don't care what you say though, I'm doing it either way.